Hey, what's up? This is Steve Cardenas, aka Rocky the Red Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and you are watching If I'm Being Honest on YouTube.
Yoga fire!
Fire, fire, and more fire.
Alright, from the windows to the walls, come one, come all. This is If I'm Being Honest. I am McKinley, and we are at the Las Vegas Amazon Con, something like that. My English is too perfect, I can't get it right. But with me right now, we have voice actor Josh Grelle.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Now, you may not know him, but you know him. We have a few pictures flashing up here of all the characters that he has voice acted and is still currently voice acting right now. But we're gonna just do a little interview real quick, ask Josh some questions. He's new. Is this your first time in Vegas? No?
Yeah, first time.
First time in Vegas?
First time since I was 14.
Oh, so this is your first time in Vegas?
Yeah, pretty much, exactly.
You know what I mean? If you've been out here, come on out, you'll find out real quick.
I experienced Vegas this weekend, still feeling it this morning.
Feeling it. Yes. So, just a few questions I wanted to ask you here. I had a few questions. I'm prepared. This is hard A journalism with a capital J right now. So, first off, how do you prepare for a role?
Usually, if I already know the property, like the manga's already available and I've seen it, or like I've watched it in Japanese before we started to dub it or something, then that's pretty much most of the preparation that I do is just to research it by actually, experiencing it.
Right.
But a lot of times too, we'll also have to, like for Attack on Titan, for the last several seasons, we've been told specifically, do not read the manga. Don't try to avoid spoilers if you can, because we want to capture your authentic reaction. So I mean, it sounds more like the characters are actually experiencing it for the first time. So lately, a lot of it has just been, I just have to wait until I'm in the booth to find out what it is I'm doing.
So you show up and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
guys?
what are we doing today? What's happening?
Oh, so, and when you go and do you research a role and then go and try out or audition, or does someone call you and say, hey, we think you would be great for such and such role?
These days, it's more the latter.
Okay.
It's more you're called up and be like, hey, so and so has this show. They'd like you to play this character if you're interested, and they think you do a good job, and you can decline or accept. Usually, you accept.
Accept.
But yeah, we used to audition for everything, and now because of how fast we have to do to pump these things out to be able to make it to Toonami and online as fast as possible. It's more of that of like they decide internally who they think would be the better cast based off of who they've worked with and who they know can do it, and then they reach out and see if those people are interested.
So you're chosen.
Yeah, you're pretty much chosen.
Must feel good to be chosen,
It's a pretty damn good
like,
feeling, man. I can't lie, man.
I could
it's pretty
say
awesome
no.
to just kind of be like, oh,
right.
Thank you.
Oh, I got a job today?
I'm employed this week.
Okay, so for the most part, right, like you play these characters that people see all the time, they fall in love with these characters, but then they don't know, do they know who you are? Like when people walk around it,
no.
So how does that feel for you to see like maybe somebody's walking around here with the shirt on? Oh my God, I love this guy. Move, guy, get out my way. But I love this guy. How does that feel for you?
It's happened. And to be perfectly honest, it's actually really freaking. I like it personally because I'm a fan. I've been coming to these things since just before I graduated high school. So it's really cool that whenever I need a break, like if I just want to go and walk around and actually just be an attendee for a while, I can be an attendee. I just blend in. Like I just look like another, another person at the con because people don't know this, and so having that little bit of anonymity still, so I can still enjoy the things that I enjoy at these things, like it's awesome. Okay. So yeah, like I can turn off, when I'm a celebrity it's just like it's just flip that switch.
All right, we'll see. And the last question I had, I just got people lining up already. They're going to get mad at us.
Oh,
it's all right though.
Yeah,
I'm being honest. I don't care. That's not on you. That's not on you.
Oh, cool.
any voice, I'm not gonna make you do a voice, right?
Okay,
That's
cool.
like no. Any voice that or character, I should say, that you would just love to do. Anybody.
Man, I've been so fortunate in just the characters that I have gotten. Like
Right.
one of my biggest dream when starting this out back in like 04 was I would hope to someday be in something Dragon Ball related, and lo and behold, Dragon Ball came back in a big way, and then I ended up getting to be one of the strongest fighters in all 13 universes.
Oh.
He may have actually created those universes. We don't know.
Spoilers?
Yes,
maybe?
No idea. So, but yeah, just to the surreal. It's so surreal to have been a kid growing up on that show, and now I'm stronger than Goku. Like, I mean,
he's stronger than Goku. If you don't know, you can actually, there's pictures right here, right?
this guy right here, the Grand Priest.
The Grand Priest, stronger than all the other angels, right?
Yeah, father of all the angels.
Father of angels. You know what? That would be my title.
I know, right?
Even walking around the house,
it's-
I'm Father of angels. That's how you will address me.
God of
Father
gods,
angels.
father of the angels. And now how you doing?
Absolutely.
It's on his business card.
It's on his business card reads Father of Angels. It's amazing.
That's it, bro.
But
creator of universes, father of angels. Oh, but yeah, dude, like Attack on Titan, Yuri on Ice, Ruby, Devil's a Park Tiger, Kenichi, Princess Jellyfish, My Hero Academia, High School DxD.
you are literally on basically every popular show right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even gonna say just in anime. Just like anime is taking such a huge jump.
Definitely in the last couple of years, especially, like we broke out of the niche and
Yes.
into the mainstream finally, like
It's on
outside
Hulu.
of Pokemon.
It's on, like, and you can just pick them up and watch them now,
Yeah,
right?
Sony Entertainment. Sony owns Funimation now. Like
Wow.
that's like Sony has invested into it, and I believe like Time Warner owns like some of the LA ones, the,
Right.
like Bang Zoom and stuff like that. So
Okay.
like anime is no longer just this small niche
Right.
thing anymore. It's like at cons, it's like it's almost every Comic Con now across the states. Anime is now an included part in that.
Yes.
Instead of just being the fringe thing, like you would occasionally see some cosplayers or something.
Right.
Now it's everybody's
Everybody.
into this.
Yeah, if you don't know anime, you're kind of you're weird.
Yeah, seriously. We
Now
got
you're-
NFL players talking about DBZ. Dude,
Oh my gosh,
I mean,
right?
like, hell yeah, dude.
De'Aaron
It's
Fox,
like-
you know, super
it's-
cool NBA guy. He's talking about Goku and stuff like
yeah, dude,
talking
we
about-
have reached utopia.
Right.
Like,
It gets no better.
no, sir.
But
Golden
that-
age of anime.
But that's amazing, though, and it was great being able to sit down and talk
Yeah,
with you.
right at you, man. Right at you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Hey, make sure you go and check out all of these great things that are on right now. I'm personally watching My Hero, of course, Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan. All great shows.
Yeah,
all
man.
great shows. So
Something
make
in there for everybody.
definitely something in for everybody. If it's your first time to anime, why? Go check it out. Make sure you check out all of his work, and make sure you check out more If I'm Being Honest stuff. I have been McKinley, and I still am, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Take care.
Morning, Steve.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, good. Chris, I'm with If I'm Being Honest. We actually have a local movie review site here in Las Vegas. It's actually our second year here doing this. It's your first year here.
This is my first year at Amazing Comic Con. I've done another Comic Con in Vegas before. I used to live in LA, so I've been to Vegas a ton of times.
How do you think of the experience so far?
Oh, it's been phenomenal, man. I mean, just me, I just love Comic Con. You know what I mean? It's like, you think about like in normal society in a sense, you know, like a lot of times people that feel like they're the odd one out, you know, kind of get shunned by the rest of society a little bit, but in Comic Con, this is a place where everyone feels that way, and like to be together with like-minded people and whatnot, and you know, it's really good for just like people out there like that, you know what I mean? And so that's what's really good about Comic Con, I think, and you know, it's already taken it to a point now where it's like so much part of pop culture now that it's actually kind of cool. You know what I mean?
I was talking to Jamie, the owner of it.
Yeah.
Kind of in line with what you were saying. This brings a lot of people together. And just kind of a story, backstory on us. Last year, we were pretty much in the old package. We got to meet a lot of people here. Connections. Just 12 months. It's been
nothing like Power Rangers at all. It's kind of like Predator almost, you know what I mean? Like, but it's cool. Like, it's all like practical effects, special effects. So like everything is like there's a creature in there. There's a guy inside the suit is like 7'7", and he puts the whole thing on. He's like almost 9 feet tall. And this Predator-like type creature. It's all, yeah, and it's all, like I said, it's all practical effects. Like it's an actual suit. There's a guy inside it, and like, you know, the guy who directed the movie is that like season 6 version of Face Off. It was a Face Off creature, clear makeup, challenge show that they used to have. Anyway, so yeah, so little things here and there. You can watch it on Amazon. It's called Beast in the Water. It costs like $3 a month. So if you've got an hour and a half that you don't mind losing, please, by all means, check it out.
Sure, we'll check it out. So we've been watching it all day.
Yeah, stuff like that.
We love watching like some of those are the best movies ever. Right. Everybody's watching. That's where our show comes in. We can talk about those things.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that. You know, like I said, like from time to time, I do like the main thing that I'm doing right now is I'm touring. Like I do like different scenes every weekend almost all over the world. So, you know, if your fans are out there watching and you guys want to come, like, you know, actually meet us Power Rangers, we tour all the time. So if you follow us on Instagram or whatever, like you guys can you know, definitely like find out where we're gonna be, because most likely we'll be in a city near you. You know?
Yeah, this weekend we have you, we have Jason, Amy's gonna be here.
Yeah, Jason, David, Frank, and Amy Jo Johnson, the Green Ranger, and Green Ranger, they're also here as well. You know, like I said, we do this kind of stuff like once a week. Different cities. Like last week, JDF and I were in Indianapolis, next week we'll be in Atlanta. So it's just, you know,
Is that really tiring?
are you kidding me? It's like I sit at a table all weekend, and people come up and tell me how awesome I am, and give me money. How could I ever get old?
It's a lot, right?
And you get to travel the world for free.
That's amazing. So, just talking about Jason, you're saying
Oh, for sure, yeah, because the fans come up. You know what's really cool about it? The most important thing about it is, you know, you get to see these fans. Back in the day, when we were young, like, on the show, there was no security, there was no Twitter, nothing. There was no way for the fans to just like us unless they hand wrote us a letter. Yeah. And we were lucky to sit through all the thousands of letter mail that we got. I mean, maybe like a correspondence or something like that. But if we ever met the fans in person, they were too little and too shy to hide behind their mom. But now we're all grown up, you know what I mean? It's like, and now they're grown up and they have the means and the ability to like to come and meet us and stuff like that. And they come and they tell us those interesting stories. And they're like, hey, you know, like, I had a really rough time watching you. And I just want to say, watching your show, I got me through that. I just want to express that to you. And here's stories like that.
I love honesty. I was one of those kids.
Well, I apologize for that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there was only so many of them in the range of it. You know, but with social media now, it's like, boom, you know, fans can DM us or we can like one of their pictures and we can chat with them that way and stuff like that. I mean, you know, comments on, you know, some of the posts that we post up, you know, we can post stuff on it. I mean, the fans like, oh, I can't believe it. Rocky liked one of my pictures. You know what I mean? Like one of those things. You know what I mean? That's great. You know, they feel good. We feel good. You know, we feel relevant still. You know, which is great.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Especially just with you guys in college. It's been 30 years.
25 years.
All this content, you guys are still relevant. Not just high school kids, but you're watching. You guys are first one there.
Yeah.
Now our kids.
Yeah, that's right. We get a lot of
It's just
parents that bring their kids and like, hey, you're starting on old school stuff first. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's amazing. Well, see, I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you so much, man.
Hope to see you again sometime, man. All right. If I'm being honest, check us out on YouTube. You know where to find us.
Justice League, assemble! Hold on, here we are.
What was your name?
Did okay.
Yes.
Bridget, and my last name is Beetle, like Beetlejuice.
Okay. You have social media?
Yes. Instagram is BBB, that's 3 B's, Fine Arts, and Scott C is also a body painter. We did 7 people. That sounds dirty. C Artworks, SEEARTWORKS works for me. Don't forget to use your KY jelly and have a good time.
Superman, can I get you?
Super fan.
What's up? My name is Chris from If I'm Being Honest. Introduce yourself. You have a social media?
I do, yeah. I'm Nathan Ferrier on Instagram. I am Nathan C. Ferrier. And see, I'm just Superman here today at Comic-Con, all painted up, ready to Justice League it up.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Can I get you guys as well?
Yes. Hold on. There you go. Okay.
You guys can all get in.
Yeah.
So one by one, I should need your name, and then if you have social media so people can follow you guys. Start with you.
Yeah.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
my name is Ashley Villarreal. You can follow me on social media at ash.villarreal. It's like Villa Pizza, but Villarreal. Yeah, I'm here at Comic-Con with the lovely Justice League.
That doesn't make that sound, huh? Hi, I'm Eris, or Starfish the Mermaid on Instagram. So, mermaid coming through with Aquaman.
What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Aiden. I am dressed up as Cyborg. You can follow me on one of 2 of my Instagrams. So at Crunkham, CRUNKHAM, or the Aiden Voyage, all one word.
Morales, and on Instagram as Basic Puerto Rican Chef.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Right from the windows to the walls. Come one, come all. This is If I'm Being Honest. I am McKinley. And right now we are at the amazing Comic-Con. I can't say amazing. I still can't say amazing. My English is too proper. Amazing Comic-Con in Las Vegas. And right now I want to highlight something that I found. I'm going to say I found it. It's a gem. You guys don't know about this yet. But this is Grace, right? This is a comic. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to allow the creators to tell you what it's about because I cannot do it the justice. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves right now. Starting.
My name's Mike Jones. We are In Blue Comics. Partner here, Chris Thayer.
How you doing?
And these are the creators of Grace, all right? I'm actually going to let you go ahead and speak a little bit about, tell the people what Grace is actually about, because I love it. Do it how you told me.
All right, I'm gonna let Mike do the standard pitch, and then if you have. So, little spoiler here, but Grace dies on the 2nd page of our first book.
Whoa, man.
Yeah, but like any good comic book character, she's given the opportunity to come back to life with a catch, because there's always a catch. That catch is every night at midnight, every night, she has to kill an evil spirit, a sinner, murderers, rapists, terrible people nobody wants to live. But what makes Grace different from every other comic book character at this Comic-Con, she has no special powers. She's not rich like Batman, she's not military trained like Punisher, she's not super in any way, she's just a regular girl who's been thrust into a superhero situation. How would you deal with that? We figure out how she deals with that.
And do you hear that? Do you understand why I'm excited about the story arc of where this is going to go? This is amazing. At the Amazing Con, play on words there. But I'm super excited about this because I haven't heard anything like this. I haven't read anything like this. And I think this is going to be something that's going to be coming pretty soon, more than likely to your Netflix or Hulu or wherever you pay to watch stuff, right? It's going to be coming there pretty soon. I'm super excited about it. So what I want to ask, because this is something very unique, I haven't heard this. Where does this come from? Where does this idea come from?
Really, the whole thing started on a bit of a dare. We have a podcast called The Nerd Life Crisis.
Go check it out.
And the 3 of us were kind of talking about comics and the movies and where things had been going. And of course, you know, I'm kind of the torchbearer of strong female characters.
Okay.
And I was complaining that we didn't have a Black Widow movie and that we hadn't had at that point any female-led comic book films. This was way before Wonder Woman actually was released. And basically I was told, if you don't like what's out there, then you need to come up with your own.
Right.
So I said, challenge accepted.
Accepted.
So let's do
challenge
it.
accepted. I like that. That's a little Barney reference from How I Met Your Mother. You might should watch that show if you haven't. But that is an extremely unique idea. Where does the idea of she has to kill somebody and then essentially go back to her day job, right? She gets to keep living.
Right. And that's something I think we love our Avengers, and I come back to Marvel a lot because we are kind of like the opposite of Marvel.
Okay.
We watch the Avengers and we love it, but I mean, if we're being honest, they level New York City, and then they're eating shawarma in the next scene.
That's right.
So it's like there's a disconnect there, and we kind of look at that whole and we go, you know what? That's the story that nobody's telling. Like, what's the day-to-day grind for these characters, you know? What happens when you run out of clothes?
Right.
Because everything has blood splatter on it, or it's torn or whatever. Like, how do you go to work the next day after going out and doing these things day after day?
Right.
You know, and to me, that was the interesting part that nobody seemed to be addressing. You know, we get a little bit of that in some of the later Marvel films or DC films, but really there was no consequences for any of the violence.
Right.
Just on a human level, we never really see anybody deal with what they've done, you know?
Right, you just keep going. You go and you save the next person, right?
And we fight the next big bad.
Right.
And that's all good, but it's like there's a human disconnect, and that's what those movies are for. We thought, well, we're not going to outdo them. You can't out Marvel.
Right.
So let's dig into something that they intentionally ignore, and we'll make that our sweet spot. You know?
Absolutely. And it is sweet. You should check it out. Go help them out. Is there any way to help you guys fund things, or?
Well, I mean, we do sell online.
Sell online. Where are we selling at?
We are at ibcomics.com. It's Inland Blue IB Comics. You can take a shot of the card.
There you go.
To get the info.
Right now, this is my comic book. It's about
All right.
And when we do, occasionally we'll do like a pre-order, or we do a Kickstarter for one of our other titles.
Okay.
But basically we sell a lot at shows because it's one of those titles that you really need to talk to somebody about for them to fully grasp what it is. And once they hear the pitch, they're like, wow, this is something that's definitely different.
Right.
And again, that's the goal, is to be something that isn't what everybody else is doing.
100%. And this is definitely not one of those things that you've seen or read before. So I encourage you all to go and check it out, buy it up, because I'm telling you, you're gonna see it. You want to be one of the first people to say, you know what? I was on it before there was even a bandwagon. I was helping pushing the cars, right? You want to be that person. So definitely go check them out. Real quick, you mentioned the grind, right? You guys are self-producing these creations.
Yeah, we are 100% self-published.
Talk a little bit about what it takes for creators out there who are maybe going through the same things, or would like to, possibly venture into that. Like, just some of the things that it might take to get you to this point to where you're at.
I mean, a lot of hours is the first thing. Be passionate about whatever it is you're creating, because if you're not passionate about it, you're going to lose steam. The biggest thing for me is just do it. You know, to steal a wear-worn tagline.
Right.
If you wait until it's perfect, it's never going to be.
Right.
So you're never going to put a book out. Just getting a book out is 99% of the battle. You know, don't wait for it to be completely 100% what you want.
Re-edit after re-edit after re-edit after re-edit.
You're going to re-edit anyway, because you're going to do a reprint, and you're going to re-edit then, and then you're going to do a trade paperback, and you're going to re-edit that. You're going to do it anyway. Exactly. You know, if you look at our first printing of Grace 1, the art style has changed significantly, because I've changed significantly as an artist.
Third printing.
Over 3 years. So, I mean, if you look at the early Walking Dead, the art is not nearly as strong as it is now.
Right.
You know, it's going to change. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Just get it out, to where you feel comfortable with it. Get it out so people can start becoming, fans of it.
Absolutely. And people will become fans of it, especially if you put your heart into it, you put some time into it. Something like Grace here, totally off the radar, but will be on your radar very soon. It's on your radar now if you're paying attention. One other thing that we want to jump into real quick, we have another story here as well. This story also, something that's very unique. Like, I can't I don't want to do it justice. I can't do it justice with the words that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you go ahead and tell them exactly.
I'm going to grab my tabbed book
here. Oh, he's going
here
to grab the tab.
because I got my tabs so I can get to the pages quickly. So basically we piggyback on the Robert Johnson legend, the blues musician in the 30s, who went down to the crossroads and sold his soul to be the greatest musician ever. So what we do is we take 9 characters and we explore what their deals would be like in 9 different decades. So we start in 1939 and the series works its way up to today. Now where it gets interesting is each character asks for something different based on their time period, but that's still not the most interesting part of this. The art style for each book changes to mimic the decade in which it's set. So this is a very 1930s art style. But what really makes this thing cool is that each book has a companion album of original music that's by the character. So as you go through the story, you come to moments like this one here where the character is performing a song. You get to pop on the music and it underscores what's happening in that section of the book. So we've got 9 moments throughout the book that kind of tie in with what's going on in the character's life at that point. And of course, musicians sing about what's happening in their life. So,
right.
So yeah, like I said, it's a 9-book series, and each book will follow a different character in a different decade.
That is, again, another unique idea that they put into action. This is amazing. Like, you got crossroads demons and musicians all throughout the course of time. If you're not doing things right now, you should definitely be inspired to go out and do some things.
I'm sorry.
This is amazing. I hope you guys take advantage. Go to their website. It was on the card there. One more time, what's the website?
IBComics.
IBComics.com. Go and purchase all of this stuff because pretty soon it might be too expensive for you to get. That's the hope. But again, this is If I'm Being Honest. I had a great time. I have bought these comics. I'm reading these comics, and you should too. And we appreciate you watching. Until next time. Thanks.
I'm pretty tired.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Think I'll go home now.